Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Astro Colony with Lone Debater 7. And today we're just going to be catching up on what we did in between the last episode and the start of this one. If you're new to the series, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon below the video. That way you get notified every single time I upload and add to this series or upload other gaming contents in general. Um, if you want to watch the previous episodes in the series, they are saved in a playlist. Just look in the upper right-hand corner, the first little bit of this video, and you should see a little card on YouTube telling you, hey, here's the playlist for Astro Colony Early Access on Lone Debater 7's channel. Go ahead and click there, and you can watch all the episodes in the series as they come out, because I will add them to the playlist. With that being said, last time we got our first asteroid catcher and basic resource collection, gathering, production, generation, whatever you want to call it, set up and automated. So we currently are generating resources automatically and all that fun stuff. They're also automatically being turned into ingots, water, and then generating power with the coal. So we've got 195 stored water. We've got 144 oxygen tanks. We've got a constructor built. I was able to turn the lab back on because I added an additional 2 generators. So we're currently producing 40 power. We're consuming 39 of it. So we're pretty much at the limit for what our power grid can support. So we're going to need to add another generator here. I'm probably going to go ahead and do that right now. That's why I'm out here gathering a few asteroids. Well, A, they're gold, and B, they had a little bit of coal. So gathering up some coal to stick in the new generator we're going to throw down is the call. That way it can run for a little bit. Because today, what we're going to focus on is expanding our operation a little bit. So we've already kind of done that since last time. So I went ahead and expanded out our asteroid catchers. So we now have a total of 5. So there are 2 on this side and 2 more in line with the first one we placed down last time. So total of 5. Basically, the way I did this, I extended out this platform, and actually I'm just going to go ahead and finish that off right there so it's all uniform. For whatever reason, it won't let me remove those rails. I know you can. I don't know if it's like a technology thing that I'm missing or what, but that's fine. I went ahead and laid out an extension on this platform so I could fit this belt around the outside edge, which feeds in here. I thought about bringing it all the way out here, but I thought I'd try to save some of the room. I wanted to leave a little bit of space so this can export something, at least, to get it started. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, when we upgrade all of this to Tier 2 belts, it shouldn't matter, but it seems to support the 5 catchers on this single belt pretty well. Not too many backups. I have let the system run for maybe 30 minutes worth of time, so we've generated quite a bit of resources. I've converted some of the iron and copper and gold into plates, just so we have some. Made some more wire. I also went ahead and stuck some iron and copper inside of the lab to get some more engineering science. So we've got 40 engineering science banked up. We also have 147 basic science, so we can kind of splash some science if we want. There's kind of some... I want to focus on the cosmic harpoon today. That's what we're going to show off after we finish the tour. So in addition to the 5 miners, so we have this outside path leading. Then it comes through here. These 2 are both outputting to this single spot. So basically the way I laid this out is you have the first one that we placed, right? So follow that format. I ended up moving the constructor over here and back a tile, so it's right next to the barrier. This is fine in my opinion because I think we might end up pumping something out of the constructor that's going to go into the lab anyway. So this port is actually at a pretty good spot for that. The input is right there and also right there. So eventually we're probably going to move all of these off of here. I just want this for our base resource gathering, so we can get started and kind of be able to expand out the base and things like that. We need iron mostly to expand the base, but now we have a way to get iron, right? I've got 40 iron sitting in my bag. I'm going to make some more plates. We almost have 60, but 60 is not that much when you're trying to build out a big platform of space. I mean, you think about it, this is a, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5 by 5, so that's 25 blocks for each one of these. We'd only be able to make a platform big enough to house 2 of those with 10 extra squares, so not even enough for the belts. So, yeah, it gets expensive when you start building out floors. It's not expensive, I guess, because you generate that amount of resources relatively easily. Like, it took me maybe 15 minutes with the single automated catcher that I had set up here, and maybe mining some iron on the side as well. It took me 15 minutes to generate all of the resources I needed to expand out this system to 5 of these catchers, and then also expand out the generators, wire, all that good stuff. So not too bad. I mean, as far as grinds go, not terrible on the early game grind. At this point, there's a few different options. I mean, we've got enough science now. We could go pretty far down the tree and do a lot of different things. What I want to look at first is something that is unique to this game and what I thought was pretty cool. So we're going to go for the Cosmic Harpoon. I'm going to go ahead and get the booster. This is basically like your run function. It uses your oxygen to let you run. If you're inside your barrier, it doesn't matter because your oxygen won't deplete. When you're outside your barrier, just pay attention to that because you don't want to run out of oxygen. The Harpoon is basically a station. We'll show the item in just a minute. I'm also going to get recycling and talk about that real quick because it's pretty basic and easy to understand. So if we go into our devices and pull out the recycling machine, this guy right here, pretty basic looking guy. It's kind of just a weird shape in my opinion as far as like trying to fit it in, but that's okay, not a big deal. You don't always have to have this placed either, like it's kind of an optional thing, but what this allows you to do, if you open this inventory up, it takes 5 power, so we're over, or no, we actually have space because we added the machine, never mind. If you click the recycling icon, any buildings that you've deleted, you can actually add in here, and it will give you back the resources. So if you deconstruct a bunch of floor or what have you, and you want to be able to utilize the materials that went into those not to make the same thing, the recycling machine is the way to do that. I'm not using it right now. I'm going to turn it off so it doesn't consume power because no point. Okay, that's the recycling machine. Pretty basic. It's handy mainly if you're destroying this starter stuff that they give you. I think I need to get vertical construction to be able to break these rails. That's what I'm missing, if I'm not mistaken. Same thing with like these stairs. Or well, it'll let me do the stairs. Never mind. Okay, cool. Won't let me do the rails. So I'm not going to break this whole thing. That's fine. I really didn't need to break those stairs, but eventually we're going to cut out this whole platform and we'll turn this into something else. We'll also eventually clear out all of this power and either localize it somewhere else or build solar panels to supplement it. But let's go to the main attraction for today's episode, and that is the Cosmic Harpoon. Now, there's obviously lots of asteroids floating around here. You can see them, you know, all fine and dandy, little oblong boyos floating, having a good old time in space. Well, you also probably have noticed these bigger masses that don't seem to be moving. Well, those are called planetoids. So we've got a planetoid over here. It's got a copper deposit. You can see that in the, just below the upper right-hand corner of the screen. There's a little tooltip, planetoid copper deposit. So that one has a copper deposit. That's not one. That's not one. This one is a planetoid with an iron deposit. This is one with a carbon deposit. This is one with another copper deposit. So there are these planetoids scattered throughout the universe that you can actually bring your ship to, or you can bring them into your ship and then harvest the resources from them. So the way you do that is, you guessed it, with the Harpoon connector. Now, where is that actually located? Right here, Harpoon connector, this boyo. So the way I plan on doing this base, now, I could put it like right here actually, now that I'm looking at it. No, I kind of want this side of the ship open. I'm going to go, well, no, that's fine. We don't need that. We don't need that gold. Leave it. Leave it. Don't get distracted. Harpoon connector. Let's go. You know what? We'll just put it on the front. I think I'm going to have, yeah, we'll use the smaller ones out the back to kind of form this thing. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. I'm just trying to decide where to place this. So if I put it like here, then I'm utilizing basically this whole face, and it leaves a little bit of space for the power. So these do take 5 power in order to run. Here's an asteroid with some coal or carbon in it. I'm going to mine this out. A, I get the gold. B, I get the carbon. And I'm going to build another generator just to power that real quick. Because the Harpoon connectors do require a total of 10 power between the two connectors. So ultimately, we're going to build a second one of those Harpoon connectors. We built one on the space station. We're going to end up building one on the planetoid that we want to dock to in a minute. But each one of the connectors takes 5 power to actually work. So we need to build a generator to supply the initial 5 power to be able to launch the Harpoon and bring over the planetoid, and then a total of 10 power in order to actually complete the dock. So let's go ahead and get that done. I've got 14 carbon. That should be enough to run this generator long enough. So we're going to bring this guy right there. I'm going to bring over these 2 cables. I know, it's a little weird. I wish I could delete rails right now. Sorry. There we go. Power that up. Throw in the gold so it can process. And basically, pretty cool looking block, right? You've got this little docky thing. It has this giant like disco ball of death with an anchor on it. That's your Harpoon. So you go into attract planetoid, and you actually get to aim this Harpoon and shoot it at the planetoid you want, and it brings it over to you. So think of it as like space whaling, but you're whaling for planetoids and resources. So we're actually doing okay on copper right now. I want to grab one of the iron ones. Yeah, this is an iron one. Let's pull this guy down. And basically, you left click once you aim it. The reticle will turn with the green circle so you can tell. And it'll attract it down to you. Right? So, pretty easy. Then, when it gets close like that, what you do is you can fly up to it. There's iron deposit. This is where you can use that drill. There's also dirt, which this is mineable. Just like the asteroids are mineable, you can actually break away this soil, and you can actually add it back. It's a voxel, so it's based off this grid system, right? You can add layers, you can remove layers, you can expand layers out. So what I personally like to do, and this is just out of habit, I like to try to chisel out a decent-sized flat area, and that's for 2 reasons. One, the dock will only attach to a flat portion of the planetoid when trying to make the connection to your station, or like when you're trying to place the dock on the asteroid side, it has to be on a flat portion. Otherwise, it will not work. So sometimes placing the dirt is a little bit weird. You might have to finagle a little bit to actually hit the spot that you're trying to hit, but it will generally let you expand out at like I could make this platform as big as I want, assuming I have the dirt to do it, right? Which you may not have the dirt to do it, but that's okay. There we go. And there's no like physics. It does in the sense of you can dig underneath stuff. It's not going to cave in, so I could dig a tunnel through something if it was thick enough. Now, what I'm looking for kind of is a little bit of quartz. If I can get lucky and snag it off of one of these, that'd be awesome, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think I kind of want to chisel this guy down flat, but I want to leave this end. And the reason for that is I'm going to connect this planetoid directly to the space station, and it's going to become a permanent feature of our base. So yes, we're going to have this random chunk of floating space Earth on our space station, and we're going to utilize its footprint not only to gather the iron that's on it, but once the iron's depleted, we have all this space without using any iron to make flooring, right? Now, that's not entirely true because I am going to lay out some floor, and I think in order to place some buildings or to you might need flooring in some instances, but to start out with, here we go. Pretty flat, pretty decent. So the dock's right there, which means it needs to be on this base of the planetoid. So I'm just going to bring this out a little bit. And the reason why I'm doing that is when you bring it up on the ship, this terrain will actually clip through the floor and all the machines and stuff on your space station. It considers it like two separate entities. Like they're not considered interactable objects. So just bear that in mind. If you have a bunch of excess dirt or what have you overlapping on a planetoid and you try to dock it, it'll let you dock it just fine and it'll dock. But you might have a bunch of the planetoid overlapping with the rest of your base and there's no real way to deal with that or like remove it quickly. You have to either mine it all out by hand, utilize a drill to mine it, or basically, depending on how deep into your base it is, you might be able to fly away and like have that declip and then try again. But what I find to work the best is you try to make a little platform out. So I've got a little dirt that's flat leading on the leading edge that's facing our ship. That's where I'm going to put the dock. But before I actually place the dock, what I'm going to do is fly up here. And I am just going to place a little bit of flooring. So I'm going to take some black floor. Or actually, instead of black, let's go ahead and use this floor gray stripes because this is an iron. And we're going to go ahead and bring out a little platform right here just to give us some extra space for when the dock completes, it won't clip into our base. So now we're going to take this harpoon connector, place that guy right there. We do need to throw down another one. Or actually, I don't think we do. I think we can just dock it. So you just access either one, click the dock button, and it will bring this guy down, and it will complete a bridge between the two. And now we have this connected. This is producing 10. It only takes 5. Actually, I wonder... I haven't tested this. If I break the power, does it stay docked? It looks like it does. So if I bring this as an inline, I don't need to send anything out. That's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think that actually matters that it's not getting power right now. Cool. So we will just go ahead and break this. If we don't need it, why waste the coal or the carbon, whatever. I'm going to just take these resources real quick. Oh, we did get a bit of quartz. Awesome. But yeah, that's basically how the harpoon connector works. So now we've got this little planetoid extension on our base. Got some iron on it, which we can mine out, which we will mine out. I'm going to kind of cover how I'm going to set that up in a later episode. What I want to do first is I actually want to bring the rest of the planetoids that are close by and connect them all into a giant mass at the front of my ship there. Or maybe that's not the front, but on that side of the space station. I'm going to put all of these little planetoids together, and we're going to bring them all down, flatten them out, maybe, and then we can gather all the resources from all of them, store them in a box up at the front here, and then we can ship that box into our factory over there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take a bit more of this floor. We're going to try to dock this one. How wide is this? 3? Cool. That's actually pretty small. How far out did we go? We went 3 out. So we'll go like that. Take another dock. Oh, I need more wire. Just regular wire. So let's go ahead and take 4. Make 4 of those. That'll give us plenty. Plenty. We're also going to grab that one. There's that one. And then I think that's one too. So we'll have quite a bit of resource to work with here. But that'll be kind of enjoyable, I think. It'll be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be different. But this is one of the features of the game that is unique. Generally speaking, you're not able to move the terrain to your base, right? Like, you have to move to the terrain or to the resource that you're trying to mine. You don't bring the resource to you like this. So just like the last time, we're going to take this dock and we're going to attract it. So I could get carbon. So I've got iron here. Do I want copper next to it? There's 2 coppers. So I could put... I think I'll probably do the coppers on the other 2 faces. So let's grab the carbon, I guess. Yeah, let's grab the carbon. Oh, whoops. Don't right-click. That'll actually cancel it. You just hit Q, and then you'll leave the building. Yeah, just FYI. But cool. As you can see, like, we've just expanded so much room to build on, because you can actually utilize this as part of your space station. Once it's docked like this, your astronauts, or well, maybe not with the Harpoon connector, the astronauts can't walk through, but if I were to build the bigger version of this, the docking station, on either side, instead of the Harpoon connector, then the astronauts could walk through. So what I should do right here is build a docking station on either side and use that to connect these. But no worries. I don't necessarily need the astronauts going over here. This is just for resource collection, so I'm not too worried about it. Now on this one, this actually might yield ice when you chip it out. There's dirt. Okay, fine. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just kidding. Of course. Of course I know what I'm talking about. Come on. That's why you tune in, right? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps the channel out, and I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and build a little bit more. Now, this is carbon, so I think for this floor, we will go for... Is there like a... I guess matte black is fine. Sure. Go 3 out. Boom. Take our dock. Boom. Hit this. Hit dock. Oh my gosh, look at this. We now have two planetoids connected to our base. Just like that. So simple. So satisfying. So Astro Colony. Awesome. Okay, cool. So now we've got an iron one. We've got a carbon one. This is going to do an inline, because we're going to pull resources from there in. That's an inline, pulling resources from there to there. And then let's see, we've got a copper deposit right there and a copper deposit right there. So let's go ahead and get these done. And then we'll wrap up the episode, I think. So we'll put that there. Boom. Oh, whoops. Gotta put in the carbon. Alright. I'm going to grab this one first, just because it's farther away. It might be a little bit trickier to try to orient the way we want, but it should work all the same. I'm pretty confident. And then we'll bring this one and put it on this side. So maybe while that one's traveling over, I can just kind of straighten or line this edge out a little bit better. Because, yeah. Even though I'm placing, floor blocks or whatever on top, it's still, I think, beneficial to have a good base layer of dirt to place those floors on. That's just my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah. Now this copper, it's right there. It should go on this side. I think it will still dock even if I put it on this side. So we're going to try that and find out. Just going to flatten out this hill because I kind of want it on this side of it. So the copper is closer to where the carbon is going to feed in. That's maybe enough space. Space joke. JK. Alright, let's go ahead and straighten this line. Just real quick, if I can get it to hit. Yeah, sometimes adding the dirt is a little bit tricky to get it to go where you want. It will eventually place, though, and then you just kind of have to go back and clean up the excess, but fine. Alright, so copper. Why not? Let's go for checkerboard red. Oh, this game. Alright, cool. Oh, whoops. That is the wrong side. What are you doing? What are you doing? Boom. Yeah, it'll actually do that. Cool. I need to go get some more iron plates, because we are out. Boom. There's 40 of them. I'm glad I started making those. Wasn't sure if I did. I thought I was going to have to wait, but not today. So, let's go ahead and get this last one built out. So, it's right there. We're going to slap it right here. I need a little bit more wires. Make another 3. So I can recycle all of these. If I go over to my recycler, we can show this off while this is kind of built-in stuff. We need to turn this on first off. But I can put these stairs in, I can put these cables in, and I can put that in. And it will go ahead and recycle it. And I'll get the products back. Now, on the stairs in particular, that's actually pretty good, because there's not actually a way for me to get gears at this point, because I don't have a manufacturer. So, little workaround, lol, but we'll gather up some more gold, why not? We're waiting for stuff to craft, then we'll put down our last harpoon, connector on this platform, bring in our last planetoid, and we're going to call it a day after that. In the next episode, we're likely going to focus on, wow, we ran out of power, shoot. We've got 4 of them, so should be able to do is something like this. In the next episode, we're going to look at some different technologies. We're going to spend some of the research points that we've got. We're also going to talk about how to gather these fixed resources with the drill, and kind of take a look at maybe reworking our base just so we have a little bit of storage integrated into the design. Because I think that's generally a good practice. You know, you want to have a little bit of buffer inside of your system, even if it's running fairly efficiently. You want to have a little bit of buffer. So, all right, let's harpoon our last planetoid. This one also has good old copper. Bring them on over. Yes, sir. This one needs an inline. Boom. Man, I'm excited. Look at this. This is coming together. This is kind of cool. So we've got like our main station right here. And then just floating, we've got like floating islands off the side of our station. That's cool as hell. I think anyway, I don't know. Like if I was building a space station that just flies through space, you know, harvesting resources, I would totally like grab the planet with the iron or copper that I wanted to mine on it and add it to the base. So as you can see, I held down shift there. That's how I got there so fast. So that's what the boost research or technology does. It makes it so you can accelerate. It's useful when you want to go to something that's kind of far away, but you can still see it. So like, we're pretty far away. If I hold shift, we'll get there really fast. Boom. All right. So let's grab some of our floors. We're going to do this quick and dirty. So, well, maybe we're not. This is up there. So really, I should maybe try to bring this up to the 2nd level. Actually, this